But you guys ready for some One Piece?
Yeah.
All right, let's get on the road to One Piece 1075. 20 years worth of prayer. Take back the land of Wano. So as Luffy and Kaido comes to a climax, the onlookers of the battle are remembering their 20 years of struggle. We get a retelling of the story of Orochi, Momo, and Kaido's takeover of the land of Wano. And this episode starts right where we left off the last one, with Luffy throwing the biggest, straightest right you've ever seen. And it's humongous. It's
Mike
huge.
Tyson would be proud.
That is an understatement. Like, I think me and Bass talked about it, how big this fist actually is last episode. This fist would like be the size of like a European country. It's just huge.
It's Wombo sized. Yes.
Pretty sure it's bigger than Onigashima. So, yeah, maybe that's why he's telling Momo to get Onigashimas out of the way, and he's got a lot of faith in old Momo for that shit right there. So
yeah, for real. And I love how Luffy is like, you know what? I know I'm gonna get Kaido, but I might get the rest of you motherfuckers too.
I don't think he cares at this point.
The samurai are ready.
Yeah.
They said it last episode. They don't care.
As long as Kaido falls, they're okay, man.
But yeah, in response to Luffy's big ass fist, Kaido, he turns the heat up a little bit. And by a little bit, I mean molten hot lava dragon.
Okay.
So Kaido covers himself in flames using this technique called a flame dragon torch. And Luffy's still holding on to him at this point and literally just burns his hand instantaneously. Luffy's got to let him go. And Kaido comes back with like one of like the fucking dopest lines you'll ever hear is like, you don't have to hold on to me, bro. I'm not going anywhere. Let's finish this.
I'm not running away, bro.
Kaido's so damn hard, dude.
Yeah, no, he tells him that you're gonna melt away before you can even hit me.
And yeah, we see that scene too where he bumps into one of the horns of Onigashima, which is the size of a skyscraper.
Yes.
And just melts it away in half and it falls to the ground. I mean,
he didn't even attack it. He just, his body, I think his tail bumped into it.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is like that thing's falling and it just shows how big it is compared to Momo, who is a full-grown dragon at this point. Like, it was huge.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think we really understand the scale of Onigashimas and, Luffy and Kaido at this point, because it definitely looks bigger than what I even thought it was, what it was going to be. So,
yeah, I mean, what does Kaido have? What he had started with 10,000 men. If you can fit that all in one building versus Big Mom's crew and Big Mom and Kaido themselves, place is pretty fucking huge, man. And they fit them all on one floor. 10,000 plus on one floor in one area.
Oh, this thing's massive. I mean, like, the Sunny looks tiny compared to it, and the Sunny is literally the size of the Colossal Titan. So, like, just put it into perspective,
But yeah, Luffy kind of responds to Kaido saying that he's gonna melt him away if Luffy touches him, and he's like, "No, I don't have to touch you, bro. I learned everything from the old man." And he's talking about what's his name? Hyogoro, I believe. Hyogoro. There we go. Have a hard time with my R. It's like
that's a tough one, dude.
Yeah. But yeah, he's just like, "No, man, I don't have to touch you. I've learned how to use Rio and to be able to punch without actually touching, so I won't melt, bro." And I was like, "Hell yeah, bro! You're actually putting it to good use now. So you're actually thinking."
Yes, and Luffy's calling this big ass fist the Gum Gum Bajrang, which actually comes from Japanese mythology. This is our fun fact for the day. And Bajrang actually means the one whose limbs are made out of lightning and thunder. So it's fitting too.
Huh. Okay. That's not the callback I knew of. Bajrang is the Hindu monkey god.
It is also a Hindu monkey god. Those are both
And
things.
Luffy's always so if you think about all Luffy's Gear 4 attacks, they're named after all the animals that he trained against on that island with
Oh.
Rayleigh. So now he's got god tier animal attacks now. 'Cause, I mean,
But yes,
his normal fist is Kong Fist, right?
yes.
Yeah. So
this
it's
is
King Kong Fist.
Kong, God
God.
Kong.
God Kong.
Yeah. So yeah, Bajrang does show up in Japanese and Hindu mythology. Good catch there, Dan. Like that. I like that.
That's wild. It actually means thunder and lightning as well, or whatever. Because he be doing that shit too. So
He just got done playing around with thunder and lightning. So a little
Literally
double
playing.
entendre by Oda here.
Shocker. Not at all. Oda's the goat for a reason.
Oh, I thought that was a lightning play.
Oh, yeah. No, I was just saying, I'm not surprised in these meetings. It's Oda.
Okay, I thought you were just going crazy with the puns. That's all. But yeah, Kaido's response to this attack is the flame boga, which was also pretty dope. And this was an awesome looking clash. And I thought it was one thing going on during this clash that I did notice that you don't usually see. Luffy had his eyes closed for the first part of this clash. I don't know if the lights got too bright for him, but usually his eyes are wide open and he's usually smiling during these final clashes. So just something a little different.
I think he's, having to muster up his imagination and Toon Force to match Kaido's energy. So
I like that. I like that a lot.
I have to close my eyes when I start thinking about my imagination too. So that's probably what he's doing, right?
God.
Dan's just shaking his head. Imagination.
Yeah. After this attack, One Piece pulling a One Piece right here. We get a 15-minute filler-esque flashback.
Yay.
Shocker. And while this is going on, we see all the samurai basically praying that this will end after 20 years. And we also see all the people putting the skyboats into the air with please defeat Kaido, get us out of this hell, kill Orochi, everything else, because they've just been going through it. And I don't know if we have to get into a lot of detail on what was in the flashback, but it was stunning. The animation was so good. And I was just sitting there watching it. This just makes me feel for the people of Wano country so fucking much more, man. Just seeing it put all together again like that. I mean, they brought back the smile fruit, and these people who are starving have to eat this fruit, and they're watching their friends and family die, and they're just sitting there laughing because they can't do any other emotions after eating it. Fuck Kaido. Fuck Orochi.
Yeah, then you even have Orochi, laughing about it. Look at them. Their parents are gonna die, and they ain't gonna be able to cry. They're just gonna have to laugh at it. And he was like, "I love that," and just laughing and having a good old time thinking about it. I'm like, this piece of shit, bro.
Yeah, it's so sad because he's really just mad at the Kazuki clan for coming his own clan and putting them down as thieves and thugs. But then he turns around that anger to the entirety of Wano, which is very, very unfair. Some misplaced anger. I do want to point out a little more detail from this flashback where the daimyo were fighting to take Wano back, and they're doing a pretty good job. But then Kaido's like, you know what, fuck this, and comes out the castle, and he's so big, they're like, what the fuck is that? And it's just one flame breath, and it's just okay, this is over. So I thought that was pretty cool to see just how overpowering Kaido was once he actually started fighting back.
Yeah, and I'd seen on Twitter a lot with this episode coming up, and a lot of the One Piece accounts and the people that was making it said that this was going to be a very emotional episode, and that it was probably going to be one of the most emotional episodes of One Piece. Did y'all think it lived up to that hype? As far as, I say hype, but you think it lived up to those words?
Yeah,
I definitely do. It just kind of went back to how detrimental, how big of a detriment Kaido's people have been along with Orochi. Seeing the pollution by the weapon manufacturing facilities, um, all men of working age being made into slaves to make weapons, everybody else starving, not being able to drink from the rivers, crops won't grow, and then Orochi just being a sick fuck with those smile fruits, man. It hurts. It brings everything back because I mean we've been watching this arc for years, and it's easy to like not have that on your mind in the end here, and I'm glad they brought it back all at
Oh,
once just to give us a quick recap.
oh, definitely. And I mean, it put this whole fight and this whole war we've been watching, like you said, for the war's been going on for over a year now. And I mean, like, it just put it all into context so well. And one thing I really liked is One Piece, usually, like, the sad stories revolve around one person, except in Dressrosa. Very similar vibe. But I think the way they recapped this was just so captivating. And it really hit home with how fucked this has been for 20 years. And I'm so glad we got to see a certain somebody get their head lobbed off for like the 6th time.
Fuck Orochi. All my homies hate Orochi. But I was really afraid for Hiyori in this scene. I didn't know if they were just gonna off her. I didn't think they would. That's not that kind of story usually. But when that Sea Prism Stone nail kind of falls off, and he gets his one-headed dragon. I think he's too injured to bring up any other heads at this point, so he should be done. So, and he's talking about how Hiyori is acting like the victim when he's really the victim. I was like, dude, like she's been in a Lady of the Night house. I forget what they call those. For
A
20
pleasure hall.
years. A pleasure hall. Yes, I was just gonna say brothel, but it is what it
Classier.
is. Yes. And then he goes to attack her one final time, and he's kind of saying, "Odin, I'm gonna take your daughter with me. To hell with me." And Hiyori's kind of being calm, but then Denjiro comes in. It's just like, "See you later, bud." Chops that head off. So it was really good to finally see his head roll for real. The man's in flames. His head's been lopped off. I think this is finally the end for this fucking snake.
Didn't Hiyori also stick him with the Sea Prism nail again? She had it in her hand. I didn't catch if she actually like stuck him with it again.
I think that's what she was gonna do before Denjiro showed up.
Okay.
And one thing I really liked is when they had the flashback of Denjiro being like Foxfire Kinemon in the Scabbards. I can't wait to see them again, to fight them. And he just had this big shit-eating grin on his face right under his fresh as fuck pompadour.
Mhm.
Love that.
Yeah, he couldn't wait to see him again, but it wasn't because he was going to fight him. It's just because he knew the time was going to be there to reclaim what was theirs, or at least try to. So, but yeah, one thing I really enjoy about like these kind of episodes is because when we start getting these like flashbacks and like uh which I don't think it's like straight like recaps. I think they're retelling it in a different way, but retelling the same thing that we already knew in a different way. And that means, usually when One Piece does this is that the battle is fixing to be over. And I'm pretty sure that we're going to get to see results probably next episode. And I'm pretty excited for that. One way or the other, we will know who wins. So,
Yes, sir. I'm excited for it.
Finally.
I know.
and I ain't gonna lie, I cried during this episode. A few tears. So, watching all this sad
always
shit,
cry.
bro.
Our resident emotional man.
Bro, this shit was sad, especially once they was so happy to eat the smile fruits, and then Orochi was just laughing about it. And the people was like, working themselves to death, and they was like, I'd rather die, and they was actually killing themselves by drinking like the polluted water and stuff like that. Like it was just a sad time to watch, So
Yes, and like how they were eating like the small fruits with like gratitude on their faces because they hadn't eaten anything in days, and they were about to die, and they were like, "Oh my god, finally they gave us something," and it just turned their whole lives upside down. It was that shit is one of the things that hurts me the most about this whole story. starving people and giving them something to eat that's pretty much ruining their lives.
Yeah.
Heartbreaking.
Do we have anything? I guess we have what Momo. Momo, a little bit of Momo at the end, right?
Yeah, Momo grew up a little bit, found his resolve. Hopefully, actually this time.
You know, he's been saying for like the last 3 or 4 episodes, I'm going to stop saying I cannot. But then proceeds to say I cannot right after that. But yeah, he it seems like he's kind of breaking through it. He like slammed his body into Onigoshima. He's really trying hard now. But I've said that before.
He better do something, bro. Shit.
Yeah, he said he didn't want to bring shame to the Kozuki name. We'll see if that happens or not.
Yeah, I love that we got like a little I guess floating memory of his mom and all of them like saying that they believed in him, and then he actually took action and started believing that he could. It was a really touching moment, except for the part about seeing Momo being a bitch. So there's
It's par
that.
for the course. Yeah. I've become numb to anything that Momu goes through at this point. I feel like Odin's somewhere in the sky just shaking his fucking head.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I'm pretty interested. I'm pretty excited to see the next episode because it's where everything gets summed up. I feel like so. Hopefully.
Yes, sir.
Definitely, we're gonna see a big old fist hit a fire dragon. Let's go.
Bang.
Bang bang. But awesome. Well, guys, we appreciate you listening to this week's weekly rundown.